Is it possible that Edmus Scary, a beloved television and internet celebrity, lived a double life? Born as Eduardo Joseph Vianney in 1932, Edmus Scary, also known as Edarem and Uncle Ed, was a product of Queens, New York. His parents, Salvatore and Angelina, were hard-working Sicilian immigrants who sought to build a better life in the land of opportunity. Salvatore was a tailor and Angelina worked as a seamstress, stitching together not just fabrics but also their American dream. Edmus was the youngest of 7 children, and shortly after his birth, his father left his mother for another woman. Despite this, he was raised in a nominally Roman Catholic household, where he underwent Holy Communion and confirmation. But his family rarely followed the moral teachings of the faith, a theme that would later echo in Edmus's life. In 1945, the family moved to Florida, where a teenage Edmus found solace and joy in speech and English classes, as well as in the Glee Club. His charisma didn't go unnoticed. He was voted Best Personality in his school's 1951 yearbook. Upon graduation, he moved to New York for a while, working in a dress factory, before returning to Florida. After getting into trouble with the law, Edmus joined the United States Army in 1952. He was stationed in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then West Germany, where he worked as a Morse code operator. In the 1970s, Edmus embarked on a career in entertainment. He became a well-loved television presenter, hosting children's programs under the stage name Uncle Ed. His charm and charisma were infectious, and he quickly became a beloved figure in the local community. But behind the charm and charisma, a darker side was lurking. From a TV presenter to an internet sensation, Edmus Scary had a meteoric rise. But what caused his fall? In the heartland of America, Kansas City, Edmus Scary, known then as Uncle Ed, found his footing in the world of television in the early 70s. Hosting a children's program, 41 Treehouse Lane, he soon became a beloved figure, his charismatic personality resonating with audiences. His fame wasn't confined to children's programming. He also hosted a late-night show, donning a vampire costume and cementing his place in the local entertainment scene. But as his career was soaring in Kansas City and later Phoenix, a dark undercurrent was forming. In 1986, a shocking revelation shook his fans. Uncle Ed was arrested for sexual battery. The charismatic TV presenter who had once brought joy was now a figure of revulsion. His career on television ended abruptly, a stark fall from grace. Yet Edmus Scary wasn't done with the spotlight. 2 decades later, in 2006, he re-emerged, this time on a new platform, YouTube. Going by the pseudonym Edarem, he began posting eccentric, comedic videos. His unique brand of humor and his quirky personality found a new audience on the internet. His rise was rapid, his videos gaining widespread popularity. However, his past was never far behind. As part of his probation from the 1987 conviction, Edmus was forbidden to own a computer. His newfound internet fame, ironically, led to his downfall. His violation of probation was discovered, and in 2010, he was put on trial. The outcome was a 5-year prison sentence. Supporters rallied around him, claiming the punishment was unjust. But before their campaign could gain momentum, Edmus passed away in 2012. A fall from grace, a life that went from fame to infamy. The story of Edmus Scary is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of how past actions can haunt the present and how even the most meteoric rises can lead to the hardest falls. Edmus Scary's life was filled with controversy. But what happened after his imprisonment? In the wake of his incarceration, an unexpected turn of events unfolded. A group of friends and supporters rallied around him, vehemently claiming that his imprisonment was unjust. They argued that his online activities, though eccentric and comedic, were not harmful. They saw them as a means for the aging entertainer to connect with the world from the confines of his home. This group of advocates launched a campaign, passionately pleading for his release. They highlighted his age, his non-violent nature, and the joy his videos brought to many as reasons for his freedom. They argued that his punishment was disproportionate to his crime of violating probation by owning a computer. The campaign started gathering steam. Petitions were signed, letters were written to officials. The story of Edmus Scary, the entertainer turned internet celebrity, now imprisoned, started making headlines. Yet the wheels of justice turned at their own pace, and the legal system remained unmoved by the campaign. In the midst of this fervor, Edmus Scary's health took a turn for the worse. He was diagnosed with lung cancer. His supporters' pleas for his release grew more desperate. now underscored by a race against time. Sadly, Edmus Scary died in prison in early 2012, before any significant progress could be made in his case. The news of his death was a blow to his supporters. Yet, even in death, the controversy surrounding him didn't cease. His story continued to evoke divided opinions. On one side, there were those who saw him as a man who had paid his dues to society and was unfairly punished in his twilight years. On the other, there were those who looked at his past convictions and believed that his punishment was justified. Edmus Scary, a life filled with controversy and a legacy that continues to divide. The story of Edmus Scary serves as a stark reminder that fame and success can often come with a heavy price. Edmus Scary's life was a paradox, a beloved entertainer and a convicted criminal. How do we remember him? Born Eduardo Joseph Vianney, he lived a life that was as intricate as it was fascinating. From a humble Sicilian immigrant family in New York, he ventured into the world of entertainment, achieving success as a television presenter and internet celebrity. His charisma and eccentric humor marked him as a recognizable figure, yet beneath the laughter and applause lay a darker narrative. His arrest for sexual battery in the mid-80s and subsequent conviction shattered his career, and a later violation of probation further cemented his infamy. His life story continues to spark debates, raising questions about the dichotomy of public adoration and personal transgressions. Can we separate the entertainer from the man? Should we? It's a complex issue with no easy answers. Edmus Scary, a man who lived in the limelight yet shrouded in shadows, a life that continues to intrigue and perplex. Thank you for watching.